Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Stephen Box, and welcome to Vanguard Tactics. So, if you are interested in playing Warhammer 40k, interested in learning about how to take your skill to that next level, how to essentially become the best general possible, then you're in the right place. So, for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to be answering all of your questions as I do every single day at 6 o'clock. So guys, I hope you're all doing well, and I hope you're staying safe and doing everything you can to obviously keep yourself active, sane, and just having a good time. I've had a great day today. I forced myself to take the day off, did absolutely everything possible not to do work. And as much, because the thing is with me, I absolutely love working. And if I don't force myself to do it, then I get myself run down. And then, it's just not a good place to be. So it's all about getting that work-life balance for me, and also ensuring that when I do take the day off tomorrow, I'll be hungry to get stuck in. I'll wake up nice and early, bright and fresh, get, cracking on. And also I'll be more creative. So today I decided to clean my office. As you can see, guys, let me show you. Look at it. It's so clean. Yeah. So I've dusted up on top of this shelf here, dusted on the back. I put the sisters in the display tray, the third along, over there, pretty much underneath the lamp. So the sisters are away. So I've got the Ultramarines, LR, Sisters, Chaos. Then what I've done is in all the little, I don't know if you can see over here, basically underneath there is a load of drawers. And then what I've got is like built models, and then underneath it, unbuilt models. So I'll talk you through the left, working from the tree to the right, or the plant. I've got top left and guard. Then I've got underneath the Elder, the Xenos, the Xenos line. I've got up the top there, I've got Orcs, and then I've got Genestealer Cult. Then I've got Elder and Harlequins. And then I've got underneath the Sisters, I've got Sisters, Grey Knights, Shadespire, and then just like a general box of like pens and office supplies. And then on the far right hand side, I've got Chaos and Chaos Knights. And I'm going to do a really cool conversion because I know Chaos Knights are coming out soon with the new Psychic Awakening. I want to do a really cool Chaos Knight army. So yeah, I've got basically 3 knights and a baby knight. And I might need to get some more little bits and bobs. Cleaned up the office, the desk on the side there. Some storage underneath, organized all my paints. Let me show you. So in all my paint drawers, I've got color coordinated look. So I go yellow to orange to red to pink to blues, fantastic. All the different spectrum there. And then I've got contrast paints and washes. And then I have one. Don't know if you can hear me, but then I have one. This is the one that I kind of use all the time. This has kind of got like silvers and other bits and bobs. So yeah, I've got that as well. So it's been a good day. And then myself, Brian, and Mark just played on COD. And it was incredible. We played on Warzone, right? We had a couple of little warm-up games, getting our eye in. I mean, I'm not good at COD. Okay, I'm really not. But I don't know, for some reason today, I was like the Vindicator assassin, I was up. Me, Brian, and Mark, we had our, communication on point. I was up giving Overwatch. Brian was running around like a little headless chicken, or Collector's assassin, like real sneaky, getting all the bits and bobs he needed to. I was giving Overwatch with my sniper rifle, calling out, okay, we've got 2 guys approaching from the left, 2 guys, and I was marking them. Mark was then, laying down a bit of cover fire. Brian was moving in, shooting them. And then one guy thought he was safe from me. Oh, no, he wasn't. Couldn't get my sniper rifle because he had cover, but parachuted down, didn't I? Behind him, got the machine gun out. Yeah, it was incredible. So yeah, we ended up. Brian was absolutely like a Calexis. I was like the Vindicare, and then Mark was like the what's the other one? Calidus. Real sneaky. Laying down some good firepower. But yeah, Brian was just dodging bullets. It was crazy. And then we got into the final circle, and I went down twice, but Brian managed to get me up. Oh, I took out an aeroplane. Sorry, a helicopter, because the team was just trying to like float in the circle with a helicopter. Got out the old big light machine gun, put in 100 rounds into the thing. That went down, boom, dead. And then we had this other team approaching us which was snipering on the left hand side. But I had my quick scope out. I was behind a tree. Brian was calling the shots, right? 2 on the left, and I was like, bang, bang, both dead. And then he was like, right, crates on the right. I was like, boo, boo, dead. We win Warzone, champs. So yeah. Couldn't believe it. I'm buzzing, guys. So I've had a great day. So anyway, you're right, Brian. I've absolutely lost it. So anyway, what have you guys been up to today? Yeah, I want to know. So I'm going to dive into the chat. I realize I haven't spoke about 40k at all, apart from tidying my office and then COD. But anyway, if you guys got any questions, please let me know. Yeah, Mark was the Eversaw, yeah. I was planning to clean up too, but the sun is out, so I've been gardening. Good, nice, yep. Good to get outside, do some stuff, Hey, all my painting stuff and models are packed, hoping to make my painting area nicer once I move in a few days. Good man. Yeah, it's not too bad, but in terms of cleanliness, but yeah, I just thought it needed a good dust, hoover. I needed to do loads of organization. So when I can get back in that studio, then, I can just move all the stuff in. It's going to be great. Still waiting for my mouse. I've told you guys, I've got this new mouse so I can edit quicker, because using this thing is a nightmare. So, yeah, ordered a new mouse. Was meant to arrive yesterday. That didn't come because I'm fully aware of that. And then I got an email today saying, oh, it should be with you within a day. But if it's not within you by the 8th, you can get a refund. That doesn't help. Not at all. Doesn't help me whatsoever. So anyway, is Wolfen really the only way you see Wolves being competitive? No, I think bikes could be good, and also Wolfguard with jump packs, and then characters with jump packs as well, and then character dreadnoughts. Yeah, I'd be running that. And Wolfen. You definitely need some Wolfen in there. I think not taking Wolfen is like taking Blood Angels, but without Sanguinary Guard or without Death Company. Like, what are you doing? Just put them in. They're like your key units. You got to get those guys in. You got to get them in, lads. Right, so, but I tell you what, I was like packing up all my Gene Stealer Cult, and I was like, oh, wouldn't mind painting some Gene Stealer Cult. And now I've got the itch. I haven't even finished the Sisters and already want to move on. This is the problem. I'm like a army butterfly. But I love I wish. I'll be honest. I'm not really happy with the Sisters. I don't really like the paint scheme. I've painted them all, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I might just get them tabletop standard. But yeah, bit gutted really. I'm a bit gutted. So, as I have some questions, I'm curious as to why you've chosen Bloody Rose as your sisters opposed to Valerius Heart. Is it just preference? So, in my opinion, Bloody Rose is so much better. It's a lot more competitive from a combat stance. And if you look at the units in the Codex of the Adeptus Sororitas, then to be honest, I think majority of them are certainly, down the route of combat. You only have to look at their characters and have a look what they do. Just to your Repentia. The priest gives you +1 attack. Yeah. Then you get the Triumvirate, if you want to take that. That gives you +1 to hit in melee. So there's so many, like buffing abilities based on combat. And when you really go down that road, I think bloody rows are incredible. So like I put out that video, the best unit in 40k for combat is the Repentia, without a shadow of a doubt. There's nothing, in my opinion, that can come close to their points of 117. Now, granted, you need a few buffs. However, you only need 2 CPs for them to really go mental. You don't really need to fight twice because that's overkill. You need 2 CPs for them to advance in charge and then +1 to wound. But with their exploding 6s, all the buffs and abilities you can put on them, the characters are so cheap. Once you divide, and people say to me, oh yeah, but then when you add all the characters on, it's nothing. So I'm going to do a video on how you work out the efficiencies of a character in your list and whether they're a good buffing character, or have you just put so many buffs on a unit that actually it's now pointless. So I'm going to do a video on that. Okay, I'm going to do that this week. That's going to be my video of the week, and that will go up on YouTube. So I'll spend some good time video editing it and all that stuff, making it look all snazzy. But yeah, can Blood Angel Death Company be broken into smaller units and still be competitive? No. For three reasons. Number 1, 2 CPs, you move pre-game. You can only do that once. So you'll want that on your bot. And basically, watch the battle report against Iron Hands. You'll see how I deploy it, and you'll see how I string back to all my buffing characters. You need a lot of models, okay? A lot of models to be able to string back that distance. Number 3 is so that you can afford to lose models from Overwatch. And there we have it. Because you want to have 5 hammers in that combat unit. And then you want the others just chaff. And then one guy is going to stay back within 6 inches of all your characters. So even if there's a 10-inch gap in between, it doesn't matter. Because you need your 5 hammers in combat and you need your one guy within 6. So he can give, basically, he's part of obviously that unit. Yes, you can't move again because you'll break coherency, but that's fine because you're already in the right position. And obviously once you've made your charge. So yeah, that's what you need to do. Easy. Because you're fearless within Ashtraff. I should have said that, but yeah. So 3 reasons why you only want 1 squad of Death Company. Do you expect Deathwatch with the new rules to still be super early with the Astra Militarum in terms of doctrine shape up? So Deathwatch are in a slightly tricky place because they don't really have many good anti-tank options unless you go for Forge World units. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they do with Psychic Awakening. However, I believe you can go pure mono Deathwatch and still be very competitive. So yeah. I have a question. What do you think of the upcoming 40k animated series? Do you think the art style may have been inspired by Schindler's List? To be honest, like that side of things doesn't really. I'm not really into animated series personally. Yeah, I'm a bit funny when it comes to like this game because, yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'll take it or leave it. Do you know what I mean? I watched it and I thought, oh, that's okay, but I don't like animated series basically, whether it's Warhammer or not. I thought the Astartes one was okay. Yeah, but because it feels a little bit more real, you know. When do you use Fall on Fury and when not? This is a question I struggle most with. I tend to overextend on my Death Company, and then all the buffs are out of range, and the Death Company are dead. So it all depends on your list build. But again, you've got such a huge reach with that unit, even on Hammer and Anvil. There's no reason why you can't do it. But you have to have about 13 models in the unit to string back far enough, 2 inches apart all the way down the line. I'm going to be doing a webinar. I keep saying I'm going to do this, but I'm definitely going to do it. Probably not next week, the week after, on how to play Blood Angels competitively. Okay, so if you want to get on that webinar, all you need to be is on the email list. And if I've got your email, I'll shoot you all the details. And obviously, I'll talk about it on here, but I'm going to be a real hyper focused on how to use that in a really top level webinar. I'm basically going to take all the information I've ever done on all the interviews that I've done recently, along with loads of other things that I, weren't asked questions on, but I feel like it's going to be appropriate. I'm going to put it all into one webinar series, maybe a few videos. And if you're a good, if you're keen on playing Blood Angels, maybe you play Blood Angels at the moment, you want to in the future, or you want to see what top players could do against you, then it's going to be perfect. All right, and we'll see. Ask me questions at the end of it. Okay, I will do that in case I've missed anything or you want to go into a bit more detail. There will be limited spaces if I do it this way, because it will be live and I can't answer everyone's questions. So I'll probably limit it to like 50 people or something, so we can have a good Q&A at the end of that session, because I no doubt there's be a lot of interest for this Blood Angels webinar. So we'll see. So if you're interested in that, give this video a like, and then I'll kind of know, or maybe give it a like and then say I'm in. Just write that in the comment, and then I know kind of how many people to reach out to as well. Okay, so I like the Astartes for Deathwatch, but it's not. It's just a bad unit. Why is it a bad unit? Tell me. I think Deathwatch decent, real decent. They've got so many options. What's your opinion on Deathwatch and Harlequins getting rules in White Dwarf and not in their own Psychic Awakening? So I spoke about this yesterday. To be honest, it makes no difference. The rules are still the rules. The Assassins, they come out in a codex. In an index in a White Dwarf. They're good. Inquisitors came out in one. They're good. So, yeah. Crimson Fist came out in one. That was good. So just because it's in a softer magazine doesn't mean the rules are going to be any less effective. And let's be honest, that's what we're looking for. And also, I actually think that's good, because you can just cut out the pages you need. I did that with Yanari, and I did it with my Yanari index when that came out. Brilliant. It means, when you're going away, you don't have to pack as much stuff. So, yeah. I know what Alpha Legion is kind of the best thing currently, together with Possess, but do you see any other World Eaters front being usable, or do they need a big upgrade like Thousand Suns Death Guard? I think World Eaters are okay, actually. I could definitely see a detachment of World Eaters. The thing is, if you're going to go for a unit like Possessed, what's stopping you taking... Literally, what is stopping you? Let me ask you this question. Build a list with 60 Possessed and all the characters you need. Threat saturate the board and add in as many other units exactly the same that do a very similar role, and just run it up the table and see what happens. Trial it. And this is what we do in the mentorship. So yesterday, we had a list challenge. And it's to get you guys thinking out of the box, creative. So as the meta adapts, to be able to change up what you're doing, okay? There's nothing wrong with doing those things, So, yeah. I was thinking Berserkers in a drill. Why not 20 Berserkers on the table? What's wrong with that? Yeah. I think on the table, running them up the board. Great. You might not be able to go pure, because you probably need double move. But anyway. So back to Sisters for a second. Is the battalion the best way to go for Bloody Rose? All is well, except that I don't like regular Battle Sisters having to be Bloody Rose. Much prefer Valerius Heart. Why? Why though? Because you're only taking 15 Sisters. That's it. 15 Battle Sisters that are... See, here's the problem you've got, right? I'll shoot you straight, Daniel. I'm going to shoot you straight. You're worrying about 50 points for a battle unit with a cherub. You're going to burn that cherub off straight away, so you get some miracle dice, right? So you're currently worried about 150 points in your army. It's not even 10%. So put that to one side. Focus on the 80% of your army that's going to do all the work for you, okay? Because they're going to give you all the results in that game. Whether your Battle Sisters, Valerius Heart, Bloody Rose, 20 hearts or whatever is 150 points, and it's not going to make a difference. Okay, so let's really focus your attention, like literally, go pure focused on what you need to do, and it's to look at the big picture. Okay, don't just micro, look at it, because with my battle sisters, they don't normally die because if I've got a 4-up invulnerable save, or they're hidden behind cover out of line of sight, and if they're shooting my battle sisters, I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely fine with that, because they're not shooting my Arco-Flagellants, my Repentia, my Seraphins, or my Mortifiers. Okay, so constantly think about the units that are going to do you best. Okay, anyway, that was a good question. I like it. Yeah. So how are we doing for time? 20 minutes. Guys, these are great questions today. Really, really good questions. I can tell you're all you're thinking critically, you're asking great questions, and it's these questions that will lead to better results. And guys, there is absolutely no, there's no stupid question with me. Like, the reason why I'm here is to help you guys understand the thought process that I go through. So yeah, Steve, let me know if that was helpful. But I hope you see what I mean. All right. Bailey, what function do you think is the worst position? What faction do you think is in the worst position rule-wise, and how would you fix it? Whether it was a rework or just extra stuff in Psychic Awakening. So probably Death Guard has got to be up there. Yeah. Death Guard has got to be up there for probably one of the weakest rules-wise at the moment. Harlequins are also in a bit of a bad place because of their just complete lack of units selection. I'd really like to see, Ynnari and Harlequins to get some buffs in extra ability for staying pure mono Harlequins. There should definitely be some abilities for that, because at the moment you see a lot of Harlequin top tier lists that are completely mixed. So a lot of the stratagems that are good for Harlequins are in different masks. So people just go, right, that unit's that mask, that unit's that mask, that unit's that mask, because the stratagems are just far too restrictive. Really, in my opinion, the Harlequins need access to all of those. And there's too many, having this, there's not enough HQ units, really. The Solitaire should be a HQ unit. And then there's too many, things that say, well, if you take the Incarn, you can't have a Solitaire. Why? Literally, why? I don't understand why you can't have a Solitaire and the Incarn in the same thing. So I'd love to see a few more units. I'd love to see some more sort of unity between the army, a little points drop as well. They have a combat weapon that sticks up in the air like this. It doesn't even do anything apart from give your position away. Okay, so it's not even +1 attack like a combat blade or like a witch blade gives you +1 attack. It's not even like that. It's just a blade. Guys, here's my position over here, and all the weapons are just really, really expensive. So it just means unit per unit, not great. There's no real big transport apart from 6 models. 6 models of Harlequins is not enough to really do anything. You need units like 10 or 12. There's no way to get any rerolls to hit in the shooting phase. So that's one side of your army that you're not really getting any abilities from. So yeah, I'd like to see some changes there. I'd love to see an avatar for the Harlequins. I'd love to see that. So NIDs are actually in an okay place. NIDs have got some all right stuff, especially with combining that with Gene Stealer Cult. They can be competitive and they can be good in the right hands. So yeah. For sisters, one thing I didn't find very clear in the codex is how often you can use them. It says it also says to substitute one more. Can you clear this up for me? For sisters, one thing I didn't find very clear in the codex is how often you can use them. I'm not sure what you mean by that, R.McKay. If you could let me know what you mean by if you can expand your question a little bit more, that'd be better. Can you help with the Death Watch list? Noob here, don't know where to start. Best thing to do is go back and watch my first ever video. It's all about Death Watch, and that will give you a really good idea of how to load out your units, okay? So that'll definitely be a good start. So watch my first ever one. Watch, when this channel got created, I was on the hype of Deathwatch. I did really well with Deathwatch. Nobody even knew who they pretty much were. And I kind of put them on the map for, out the blue, did really well at a competition and smashed it. And this was pre-chapter approved when they got a massive points drop as well. So yeah. Question: thoughts on having ITC/ETC or some other third-party balance the game instead of GW? So obviously the ITC, the guys like Reese and Frankie, those guys, they've been public about being playtesters, so they are influencing the balance of the game. The other thing as well is like I'll often put suggestions in the hat to GW as well, so I'm not afraid of doing that, and I know the guys to talk to if I want to, or if I've got a point. I made one recently actually about how fortifications work, so hopefully we might see some changes with that. And then also the guys that run the WTC, so not the ETC, because the ETC is the WTC and ETC, they're separate things now. So what was the ETC is actually now called the WTC. Those guys also are playtesters as well, so that's good. So actually they are still having a really good impact on balancing the game, and in my opinion the game is very, very balanced. The game's never going to be perfect, all right? And remember, in my opinion, I always think you want a couple of armies. One that's maybe hot at the moment, one that you're working on that might get better in the future. So yeah. Big Dog Jones wants to get on that webinar. Yep, absolutely, mate. Andy said, I've got a good but very shooty Imperial Fist list. I want to add some melee units. What are the best melee units in the Space Marine Codex? Probably aggressors if you're going to go fists. I'd definitely run aggressors. I think Centurions. I mean, assault Centurions are great as well. Don't get me wrong, and they are probably better. But I think aggressors are just cool. I love mine. I love their play style. They're that little bit quicker. They can move in advance and still shoot. With popping sixes, you're going to be in a good place. So yeah, try a big unit of 6 aggressors in the list. Do you think Vanguard with hammers are more viable as Wolfen with hammers in a competitive Space Wolves list? Wolfen, because of the interaction that they get where they can advance and charge, and also they give buffs to other units alongside them. But their best thing is that they have 2 wounds, not 1, and also they fight when they die immediately, which means in the combat phase, this is extremely powerful, because if I charge a unit of Sanguinary Guard into Vanguard Vets, I'll kill them all straight away. Okay? Fine. I've put my Queen into your Rook and I've got rid of it. Or I'll maybe, just wrap another unit that's nearby or something. Okay? However, with Wolfen, if I put my Queen into your Queen, my Queen will kill your Queen, but you kill me back. Okay? So it's like a perfect trade. So it's really, yeah, Wolfen is so good. So good. And they get the Wolfstone, which means that one of their units nearby can say, one of their characters can say, you're fighting last. That means the Wolfen can fight first. Ugh, it's dreadful. Like, Wolfen are real good. Could you maybe help me with winning against my friend's Shadow Spear Terminating Scepter list with my Blood Angels? I lose all the games, and we are playing those lists since months. Yeah, Respawn, I can't pronounce that last bit, but yeah, the webinar will definitely help. Watch my battle reports; they'll certainly help as well. Okay. Morgan Cole, anti-characters good. Anti-characters too good in form of eliminators and smash captains. Here we go. I'm thinking of running an Imperial Fist army. I prefer to do a mono chapter codex if I'm Xenos. The thing I find is anti-infantry is good. What can I take to efficiently crack knights and tanks? Well, as Imperial Fist, you get that +1 damage. So take the Centurions, with the heavy bolters, load up on the mortal wounds on 6s, and boom, that knight's dead. Yeah. Devastating. That's real good. Yeah, heavy bolter Centurions is what you want. Mr. Wilson, yeah, agreed. Death Guard, definitely in a very bad place. We need a new list for tomorrow, by the way. List of the week, Wilson. We need to get on it. Let's get in cahoots. Let's come up with an idea for the list of the week. Any tips on improving my little brother's Necron list? Again, like if you want list help specifically, if you want me to analyze a list, go over it and create one for you, you need to be on the mentorship program for that to happen. The link's below to join it. And if you do want, I go over lists every single week with all the guys, and the guys in the chat who are on the mentorship will, back me up there. But yeah, we basically adjust your list every single week. Okay. I do get people emailing me for list help, but I just can't reply to everyone. And also, writing a list for somebody takes a long time. It really does. Maybe like an hour of my time to write somebody a decent list, for all their models and things. So yeah. Do you know when your interview with D6 is coming out? I'm not sure when it's coming out yet. They haven't told me. Andy from D6 Evolution works for the NHS, so he's extremely busy boy at the moment. So we're not going to put too much pressure on Andy to get that out. It will come out when it's ready, I'm sure. He needs to obviously edit that up to make it look smart. Do you like Minecraft? I've never played it. What do you think of the Necron Codex? I mean, it's okay. It's not top tier, but there's certainly some players out there doing very well with it. So only a few little extra abilities, and they're going to do quite well. How would Blood Angels outfight Space Wolves with heavy Wolfen units? They probably wouldn't. 30 Wolfen would probably go through my Blood Angel army very, very quickly. And there's not too much I could do about it. Who is better, all things considered, Brother Corbolo or Sanguinary Priest with Jump Pack? I love Corbolo. I love that he gives exploding 6s, but unfortunately can't get there quick enough. So it is a Priest with Jump Pack, in my opinion. That's what I'm running at the moment, although I do have Corbolo on standby. I'd love to get him in there because that exploding 6s would be so good. Oh, I might try it, actually. Yeah. Might even just put him in a drop pod. Just turn 1, boom, come down. Here we go, lads. Yeah, that could actually work. Leave it with me. Yeah. How to expand the Gene Stealer Cult starter set. I can't actually remember what's in the Gene Stealer starter set, but again, for list help, like specifically, I'll do all that on the mentorship program, okay? The link's in the description. Chris Wilson, Jared sent me an Ultramarines list and he'll shoot it your way. Perfect. Love it. Knowing you are a champion for mental health, what do you advise for us being in lockdown? So, guys, absolute key, all right? Number 1, when it comes to staying positive, now bear in mind, I'm no expert when it comes to mental health, okay? Like, I don't profess to be, but what I can tell you what's worked extremely well for me. So, number 1, plan your day, okay? Get up the same time every day. And the first thing that I do is I write in my diary. I've got a journal here. And basically in this journal, I write down what I'm grateful for, okay? 3 things, what I'm grateful for. So I'll just pull up a blank page. I don't want to obviously go into too much detail. So I've got phone numbers and stuff like that on here. So down the bottom here, what I'm grateful for, all right? Then what I do is I write my goal for the day, today's targets, and then what I've learned by the end of the day, and then anything I'm grateful for in the evening as well. Then I plan out my day from the time, you see. So like 8 till 9, I'll do this. So it means I've got a very structured day, all right? That then means I'm going to make sure there's time for exercise, there's time for good, nutritious food, and that's going to also help me feel great. I also have a personal goal for the month, all right? So my personal goal for the month is to read a book that I'm reading at the moment, all about marketing, is I need to help market Vanguard Tactics so I can reach more people. So that's my goal, okay? So every day I read a chapter, all right? By the end of the month, the book will be done. All right. And I'll take notes throughout and all that sort of stuff. So I have a personal goal that expands my learning. It makes me feel like I'm productive. I then hit my goals every day, and my goals then relate back to the my daily goals go back to my monthly and quarterly goals that I set for myself, whether it's personal, business, or fitness. And again, this just means I'm constantly grateful of what I'm doing. I'm thankful for the fact that, you know, I have the opportunity to change my life, to be productive and be proactive. And it really helps you then set yourself up for a really good, solid, positive day. And then you can switch off once you've hit your targets, switch off, enjoy, you know, some time, you know, playing COD with your mates or whatever you want to do. So yeah, if you sit and do nothing, and you'll just feel like you haven't achieved anything today, okay? And that is where you end up getting a really, really dark place. You start to then comfort eat. That's not good, doesn't make you feel good. So sometimes, you know, you really need to take yourself out, go for a walk. Doesn't matter where you go, just get out there and do something, okay? And plan it in your diary, all right? If you don't have a diary, just get a piece of paper, okay? So Luke said here, have you played against Lawrence from Tabletop Tactics before? I have. I played against Lawrence when we played on stream actually at Warhammer World, and he played his Drakari. I used the Death Watch. This is when my channel first came out, and I did win against the Spider with the Death Watch. So yeah, again, like that's my first ever video. So if you're interested in that, go and check it out. And me and Lawrence are good friends, so we also live quite close together. So who knows? We may collaborate in the future on things, which will be really cool. Assuming we get an end of the lockdown soon, what's the first thing you're going to do? Going to go and see my girlfriend, Amy. So haven't seen her since lockdown. I probably won't be able to see her for maybe 12 weeks. So yeah, that'll be definitely the first thing that I go and do. And if I can't do that, then I'll probably go to the studio and crack on with some work and meet up with Jack and Mark and all the other guys. And we're going to have a big sort of christening and a big celebration open day of the new studio. We're going to stream loads of games, and we're just organizing that at the moment. So yeah, loads of cool stuff to come from the studio. Miracle Dice, how often can you use them, and can you use more than one at the same time? The book says substitute one or more. Okay, so how Miracle Dice work in a nutshell is, and I've got a whole module on this on the mentorship program, because it is literally like 40 minutes all about how sisters work, because it's very in-depth. But basically, you can only use one miracle die, or you can only use one act of faith per phase. Okay, when an act of faith is used, you basically substitute a roll. You cannot roll it. You substitute up, like a gonna roll for a dice instead. Now, the only reason why it says one or more is because that only basically, as far as I'm aware, the only time that's going to come up is in the charge phase, because you can swap one or more dice in the charge phase, because that is a roll which counts as one act of faith. That doesn't mean you can do multiple, although you might roll 5 hits with 5 different dice. Technically you should have done them one by one, so they would all count as single acts of faith, unless you've got things like abilities that allow you to do an additional one. Okay, so that's how it works, one per phase. I will go to my Ultramarines friend to lose again. Don't think negatively, all right? Think, if you want to learn more, watch the battle report that I did about Blood Angels versus Iron Hands. That's a really good matchup to watch. What skill level gamer is your membership program aimed at? So essentially, the mentorship program could be from anyone. It's not, and I'll be honest, it's not for everyone, okay? It really isn't. It's not for people that will, try and win at all cost. I'm not interested in that. I want people that want to learn, but also want to help other people to learn as well, to share their experiences, to share their knowledge. So is it for complete beginners that have never, ever, played the game before, or, even read any of the rules? No. It's, you've got to have a bit of an idea. You've got to, and even by listening to me chat about this stuff, if you're interested in this and you want to take it to that next level, then it's going to be for you. Okay. If you're bothered to jump on, listen to me chat about, my thoughts on this stuff, on these lives, I'm just kind of scratching the surface of what I go into. So it's for those people that are just committed to getting better. all right, who want to develop a real competitive mindset. And again, that doesn't mean win at all costs, because I don't want those people on my team. Because if you become a student, then you automatically become part of Vanguard Tactics team as well. And I only want the right people representing Vanguard Tactics, because that's what I stand for, is sportsmanship, good play. So yeah, it isn't for everyone, but if you're interested in taking your game to that next level, then it's going to be for you. We've got guys on there who have recently won their leagues. We've got guys that have won events, coming in the top threes of GTs and majors, and then we've got guys as well that just maybe play once a month. But when they do play, they want to feel that sort of, when we play 40k, we want to feel like we're going to the table, we know what we're doing, we're confident, and we sort of get that respect. So when you go home and, your wife or your girlfriend says, "Oh, how'd you get on?" You're like, "Yeah, I won. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, we played a really good game." Or you're telling your mates, "Yeah, they tried to do this, but I countered it really well by that. I saw that coming. I baited out this approach, or I baited out that charge. I then counter-charged. That won me the game, and I really felt like in the movement phase I was dominating, so I could get the objectives." I've listened to Steve and what he says about the lessons in terms of scoreboard management, and I was in control of that. That's exactly what you don't want to feel like you're playing the game and you're constantly on the back foot and then feel like, "Oh, great, I lost again." I hate that. I want people to never fear playing a game or go into a game thinking they're going to lose. That's not what it's about. So that's why I've put this mentorship course on together. I've made all the mistakes, and hopefully you can learn from the mistakes I've made. And I'm not, like I say this all the time, I'm not a talented player. I'm really not. It's all about, I work hard, I'm very critical, and I make I process everything, and that is my thought process and processing that I've gone through that I want to get across to you guys. Agreed, but most girlfriends, from my experience, have no idea what that means. They don't, but mine asks. She goes, "Oh, did you win?" I'll be like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, cool, oh, good." And she's really pleased me when I win tournaments and stuff. So yeah, she might not know what everything does, but it's still nice to to get that sort of feedback, isn't it? Can you make a generic HQ warlord and then use hero of the chapter to give a named character a different trait? It depends on your book. It will typically say if you can or you can't. In the sisters one, you can't. So you make your named one the warlord and make a generic one give that warlord trait. Hey, Stephen, I heard you talking on the Art of War, and I think you said there's a way to consolidate and fight twice without your opponent attacking you back. Wondering if you could explain this, please. So, again, this is an extremely advanced tactic for Blood Angels that is often missed by most players. You can fight and not pile in. Okay? So, the rules of engagement are, you either charge and you can fight whatever you charged, or at the point in which your unit activates, you have a unit within an inch of you. Okay? So you kill the first unit and stay outside of an inch of the next unit you want to fight into, spend your 3 CPs, pile in because you declared them, and then you hit them and kill them. That's how you do it. It's a bit more complex. And again, on the webinar, I'll put all the models down the table. I show you exactly how to do it. But for now, that's kind of the general concept. So someone's asked me, how do you join the course? The link is in the description, but I'll chuck it in the group chat now. And yeah, get signed up, guys. And the other thing as well is for everyone that signs up and stays on the course for over a month, I then donate, and I will be donating $1 per person per month to a charity in which support men's mental health. So I haven't decided on the charity yet. It's either going to be Samaritans or Movember. I'll probably make a choice over the next 12 weeks. And yeah, I want to speak to some of the charities and see where the money goes and things, because I'm a big believer of supporting the people that play in this community that might need those services in the future. So yeah, I want to do what I can. Just showed up. How is your physical and mental health during the lockdown? Mental health, very good. Physical health isn't what it used to be. I'm certainly not in the prime of my powerlifting and bodybuilding competitive. Yeah, Does it matter? Not really. But I'm having some time to work on my flexibility and other things and do other stuff. So it's all good. It's all good. Losing, while disheartening, can really teach you what your list is lacking and how do you improve your gameplay. Exactly. And I completely agree with that. So one of the lessons that we have is, one of them is on how to play test appropriately, and also a SWOT analysis. Now, you can either lose a game and not be critical and not have the right people around you to help extract that information. Otherwise, what I see a lot of people doing is just blame dice. Oh, it was dice, or oh yeah, I deployed wrong. But until you're actually shown and critically think about target priority, which is what we've got daily lessons teaching you about, that's where the critical thinking really comes in, so you can develop as a player. And that's something that I teach people, is how to get that critical mindset. Have I used Tabletop Simulator? No, I haven't. Not yet. You've been saying Intercessors, but does that count for every Space Marine faction on the Loyalist side? Nope. Incursors are great for any like combat army. Intercessors will be better for any shooting army. I think I missed another question about that, actually. Chris Rogers, would you run Incursors over Intercessors for Ultramarines? No, I'd run Intercessors with the rapid fire bolt guns. Luke said, from my personal experience, I found having 2 Predators with autocannon and las cannon sponsors seems to do better than a Repulsor Executioner. Is there a reason Predators are not used much in competitive play? They're just too easy to kill. You just look at them and they'll dead. The Repulsor's a bit tougher because he's toughness 8. And he's a transport capacity as well. Yeah. Have you practiced your non-metallic metal again recently? No, went badly. Went real bad. So I went for a gloss red on my Celestine. Jack recorded a podcast last week. It was meant to come out yesterday, but I've been taking some time off. Because I've been overworking, and I'll get that edited in the morning, and also that will come out. So Chris and Jack's top tips for orcs will be out tomorrow on the podcast. Did you do the varnish tip? I did do the varnish tip. I varnished my whole army, satin varnish. I'll go get Celestine, but I'm not happy with her. So this is where we're at. Oh, this is Celestine so far. So I've gone for like a contrast of the. Why is it just putting me in focus and not? Let me put my head in front of it. There we go. So I need to blend the wings in. The armor's not coming up as great as I'd hope. I haven't done the cloak yet either. But yeah, I really need to bring out the red details. There's a little bit of highlighting on there, but not really enough. So I need to make her pop a little bit more. But this is kind of a bit more happy with this one. So let's see if I can get that. So yeah, I used a satin varnish on that one. That was really quick to get that sort of standard. So I'll probably get that done. Right, guys, I'm going to leave that there. So I will try to put your hand behind them. Okay, I'll do that. Your mentorship program sounds interesting for people new to the whole gaming experience. Which YouTube channels or sources of info would you suggest to improve gaming knowledge the quickest? I mean, there's loads of different channels out there, loads of different podcasts. Absorb, it's all about finding the people that you like listening to as well. So you might not really like listening to me. That's cool. So yeah, just find out the right people. Obviously, I've just recently done an interview with D6 Evolution. I've done one with Nick Nanavati on Art of War. I did another one with 40k Stats. I did another one with Goonhammer, and then I did another one with if I didn't think they were good. For me, they really, top tier in terms of competitive play and putting out some really good ideas. So yeah, they're definitely ones to watch out for. Right, guys, I'm going to leave that there, and there are still plenty more as well. But anyway, take care, guys, and I'll see you all tomorrow at 6 o'clock. See you later. Oh, let me know what you think of the new thumbnails. What do you think of the new thumbnails? Let me know, because I've put some time and effort in, and I figured out I don't have to write stuff anymore. So we got cool looking thumbnails now. Anyway, take care, guys, and I'll see you soon.